The dark side of the cruel prince. In the heart of the land of Umoja, there lived a prince named Jabari. Prince Jabari was known for his handsome looks, but he was also known for being very cruel. He enjoyed making the villagers do difficult tasks and laughed when they failed. The villagers were afraid of him and wished for someone to change his heart. One day, a wise old woman named Nia came to the village. She had heard stories about Prince Jabari and wanted to help. Nia was known for her wisdom and kindness. She told the villagers, "I will visit the prince and try to make him understand the value of kindness." Nia went to the palace and asked to see the prince. When she was brought before him, she bowed respectfully. "Prince Jabari," she said, "I have come to tell you a story about a prince just like you." Jabari yawned and said, "I do not care for your stories, old woman. Leave me be." But Nia was not afraid. She began to tell her story anyway. "There was once a prince who found a magical mirror in a dark forest," Nia began. "This mirror showed the prince the truth about himself. When he looked into it, he saw all the cruelty and pain he caused others. The prince was shocked and sad. He realized he needed to change." Prince Jabari stood up angrily. "Enough of your silly stories. Get out of my palace," he shouted. Nia remained calm and said, "Very well, Prince Jabari. But remember, the mirror of truth is not just in stories. It is within you. Look into your heart and see what is there." That night, Prince Jabari could not sleep. He kept thinking about what Nia had said. He wondered if there was really a mirror of truth inside him. For the first time, he felt a bit of doubt about his actions. As Jabari finally fell asleep, he had a strange dream. In his dream, he saw the villagers he had mistreated. They looked sad and tired. He also saw himself in the mirror, looking cruel and unkind. The sight made him feel a deep sadness. The next morning, Jabari woke up with a heavy heart. He stood on his balcony and looked out at the village. He saw the people going about their day, and he remembered his dream. Maybe it is time for a change, he thought. Determined to understand his dream, Prince Jabari sought out Nia. He found her in a small house at the edge of the village. "Wise Nia," he said, "I had a dream that troubled me. I saw myself in a mirror, looking cruel and unkind. What should I do?" Nia smiled warmly and replied, "Prince Jabari, dreams can show us what we need to change. You must show kindness and listen to your people. Only then will your heart truly change." Jabari decided to try. He walked through the village and saw a young boy struggling to carry a heavy basket of fruits. Jabari approached him and said, "Let me help you." The boy looked surprised but accepted the help. The villagers watched in amazement as their prince, who was once so cruel, helped the boy. To show more kindness, Jabari decided to host a feast for the villagers. He ordered his cooks to prepare a grand meal and invited everyone to join. During the feast, Jabari served food to the villagers with a smile. The villagers were amazed at the change in their prince. Over time, Jabari continued to show kindness. He helped build a new well for the village, listened to the villagers' problems, and worked hard to make their lives better. Slowly, the villagers began to trust him and see him as a good leader. One day, while walking in the forest, Jabari saw a glowing light. He followed it and found the magical mirror from Nia's story. Nervously, he looked into it. This time, he saw a kind and caring prince. The sight made him smile. When Jabari returned to the village, he shared what he saw in the mirror. The villagers celebrated with music and dance, rejoicing that their prince had changed for the better. Jabari joined them, laughing and dancing, feeling truly happy for the first time. As the sun set, Jabari stood on a hill overlooking the village. Nia joined him and said, "You have done well, Prince Jabari. Remember, kindness must be in your heart always." Jabari nodded. "I promise to be a good and kind leader, Nia. I will always remember the lesson of the mirror." One day, a group of weary travelers arrived at the village gates. They looked tired and hungry. The villagers were unsure whether to trust them, but Prince Jabari welcomed them with open arms. "Come, rest and eat," he said. The travelers were grateful and shared stories of their long journey. Among the travelers, there was a man named Kato who had a hidden agenda. He whispered to the others about how they could take advantage of the villagers' kindness. But Prince Jabari and the villagers continued to show hospitality, unaware of the danger. That evening, Nia approached Jabari with a worried look. "Prince Jabari, I sense something is not right among the travelers. Be cautious, but do not let this shake your resolve to be kind." Jabari nodded, understanding the wisdom in Nia's words. He decided to keep a close watch while still treating the travelers with kindness. Late at night, Kato tried to steal valuables from the village. A guard spotted him and sounded the alarm. Prince Jabari rushed out of his palace, determined to handle the situation. He found Kato with a bag of stolen goods and ordered his guards to bring him before the villagers. The villagers were angry and demanded harsh punishment for Kato. But Prince Jabari raised his hand, calling for calm. "Kato, you have wronged us, but I will show you mercy. You must return what you have taken and work to repay the village for your actions." Kato was surprised but agreed to the prince's terms. The villagers were amazed by Jabari's wisdom and fairness. Kato worked hard to repay his debt. As he labored alongside the villagers, he began to see the value of their kindness and community. He slowly earned their trust and became a better person. Prince Jabari watched with a smile, knowing that his act of mercy had changed Kato's heart. To celebrate the villagers' unity and the change in Kato, Jabari declared a festival of kindness. The village square was decorated with colorful banners and lights. Music filled the air, and everyone danced and feasted. Prince Jabari and Nia stood together, proud of the village and the journey they had taken. Under Jabari's kind and wise leadership, the village thrived. The people were happier and more united than ever before. Jabari knew that as long as he led with kindness and listened to his people, Umoja would have a bright future. One day, a mysterious stranger arrived at the village gate. He wore a long cloak and carried a staff adorned with strange symbols. The villagers gathered around, curious and cautious. Prince Jabari approached the stranger and said, "Welcome to Umoja. What brings you here?" The stranger replied, "I am Kofi, a traveler and a seeker of knowledge. I have heard of your kindness, Prince Jabari, and I wish to learn from you and your people." Kofi stayed in the village and shared many stories of faraway lands and ancient wisdom. The villagers listened eagerly, and Prince Jabari and Nia were especially intrigued. Kofi's stories were full of lessons about bravery, friendship, and the power of kindness. However, not everything was peaceful. Unbeknownst to the villagers, a shadowy figure watched them from the forest. This figure, named Zubari, was a sorcerer who envied the happiness and prosperity of Umoja. He planned to bring darkness to the village. One night, Zubari performed a dark ritual in the forest. Swirling dark clouds and glowing red symbols filled the air. His magic was powerful, and he intended to cast a spell over Umoja to drain the village of its joy and kindness. The next morning, the villagers woke up feeling weak and sick. Their usual joy was gone, replaced by worry and fear. Prince Jabari and Nia consulted with Kofi, who looked serious and concerned. "This is dark magic," Kofi said. "Someone is trying to harm your village." Determined to save his people, Jabari set out with Nia and Kofi to find the source of the dark magic. They followed a trail of dark energy into the forest, knowing they had to confront the sorcerer Zuberi to restore peace to Umoja. Deep in the forest, they found Zuberi. A fierce battle ensued, with magic and energy clashing in a vibrant display of colors. Jabari fought bravely, with Nia's wisdom guiding him and Kofi's knowledge supporting them. The battle was intense, but their combined strength began to overpower Zuberi. As Zuberi lay defeated, he looked up at Prince Jabari. Instead of delivering a final blow, Jabari extended his hand. "Zuberi," he said, "you don't have to choose darkness. There is always a chance for kindness and change." Zuberi was stunned. He took Jabari's hand, and as he did, the darkness around them began to fade. The forest brightened, and the air became fresh and clean again. Back in the village, Zuberi apologized for his actions. The villagers were cautious but hopeful. Jabari's act of kindness had turned an enemy into a potential ally. Zuberi promised to use his magic for good and help the village thrive. With Zuberi's help, the strange illness lifted, and joy returned to Umoja. The villagers celebrated once more in the village square, healthy and happy. Jabari and Zuberi stood together, smiling. Nia and Kofi watched with pride, knowing that kindness had won again. With peace restored, Umoja began to thrive more than ever before. New buildings were constructed, and the villagers worked happily together. Prince Jabari oversaw the progress with a smile, knowing that the village's strength lay in its unity and kindness. One day, a merchant named Amani arrived in Umoja with a cart full of exotic goods. The villagers gathered around, curious and excited to see what treasures he had brought. Amani had traveled far and wide, and his stories fascinated everyone. Amani requested an audience with Prince Jabari. In the palace, he showed Jabari a mysterious map. "This map leads to an ancient treasure," Amani explained. "But it's hidden in a place that only the pure of heart can reach. I need your help to find it." Jabari agreed to help and gathered his friends, Nia and Kofi. Together with Amani, they set out on a journey through a dense jungle. The path was difficult, but they were determined to find the ancient treasure. The jungle was full of challenges. They had to cross a swift river, navigate through thorny bushes, and avoid wild animals. Each trial tested their courage and teamwork. Jabari led with bravery, and his friends supported each other every step of the way. After days of traveling, they discovered a hidden cave entrance covered in vines and moss. The inside of the cave glowed with a mysterious light, guiding them deeper into the darkness. They knew they were close to the treasure. Inside the cave, a glowing spirit appeared before them. It had a wise and serene expression, holding a staff that radiated light. "Only those with pure hearts may proceed," the spirit said. "Prove your worth through an act of true kindness." Suddenly, they heard a cry for help. A small animal was trapped under a fallen rock. Jabari knew they had to save it, even if it meant delaying their quest. Without hesitation, they worked together to free the animal, showing their kindness and compassion. The spirit smiled and the cave walls parted, revealing a hidden chamber filled with golden light and ancient artifacts. The treasure was more magnificent than they had imagined, not just in gold and jewels, but in the knowledge and wisdom it contained. They returned to Umoja with the treasure, greeted by cheering villagers. The village square was filled with joy and celebration. The knowledge and wisdom they brought back would help the village grow even stronger. Prince Jabari, Nia, Kofi, and Amani shared the ancient wisdom with the villagers. They learned new ways to improve their lives and work together even more harmoniously. The treasure's true value was in the lessons it taught them. With the new knowledge, Umoja thrived like never before. The villagers were happier, and the sense of community was stronger. Prince Jabari knew that as long as they stayed united and kind, nothing could break their spirit. One day, a dark storm approached Umoja. The sky turned grey, and the winds howled. The villagers looked worried as they prepared for the storm. Prince Jabari and his friends gathered to discuss a plan. "We must protect our village and help each other through this," Jabari said. The villagers worked together to secure their homes and gather supplies. Prince Jabari and his friends led the efforts with determination. They made sure everyone had enough food and shelter, and they reinforced the village's defenses. When the storm hit, it was fierce. Heavy rain and strong winds battered the village. The villagers stayed inside their homes, worried but safe. Prince Jabari and his friends braved the storm, checking on everyone to ensure they were all right. After the storm passed, the village was left with fallen trees and damaged houses. The villagers emerged from their homes, assessing the damage. Prince Jabari rallied everyone to start rebuilding. "We will restore our village together," he said, inspiring hope in everyone. The villagers worked tirelessly to rebuild Umoja. They cleared debris, repaired homes, and replanted crops. Prince Jabari and his friends helped and encouraged everyone, making sure no one was left behind. The spirit of unity and kindness made the work go faster. While clearing debris, the villagers discovered a hidden underground spring. It was a source of fresh, clean water that could benefit the entire village. The discovery brought excitement and hope. Prince Jabari and his friends were amazed and knew the spring would be a blessing. To celebrate their successful rebuilding and the discovery of the spring, the villagers held a grand celebration. There was music, dancing, and plenty of food. Prince Jabari and his friends were at the center of the celebration, smiling and happy to see their village thriving. At the celebration, Prince Jabari spoke to the villagers. "The storm tested our strength, but it also showed us the power of unity and kindness. We faced it together, and together we emerged stronger. Let this be a lesson for us all." News of Umoja's resilience and the discovery of the spring spread to neighboring villages. Delegates arrived, seeking alliances and friendship. Prince Jabari welcomed them warmly, excited about the possibilities of working together for mutual benefit. Villagers from Umoja and the neighboring villages began sharing knowledge and skills. They worked on various projects together, fostering friendship and collaboration. The exchange of ideas brought new innovations and improvements to everyone's lives. The village of Umoja expanded, with new homes and markets. Villagers from different communities worked together, creating a vibrant and diverse community. There was laughter and joy as they enjoyed the benefits of their collaboration. As the sun set, Prince Jabari, Nia, Kofi, Amani, and Zubari stood together, looking out over the thriving village. They knew that the spirit of Umoja, built on unity and kindness, would continue to guide them through any challenge.